You've been told money was born because ancient people got tired of trading chickens for bread. Clean story, simple story. But the story starts falling apart the moment anthropologists started looking for evidence. For over a century, researchers searched for a true barter economy and found almost none. Money did not begin as simple trade. It began as debt, as obligation, as a system for keeping score. And once governments realized they could control the scoreboard, every currency started following the same pattern. First, people trust it. Then, power captures it. Then, more gets printed. Then, the value quietly bleeds out, while ordinary people pretend nothing changed. Shells, silver, dollars, different century, same pattern, and right now, it may be happening again. By the end of this video, you'll understand why currencies throughout history repeatedly rise and eventually collapse. Before coins, before paper bills, before gold bars locked inside vaults, money was basically a favor nobody forgot. Your neighbor helps you bring in the harvest before a storm hits. You don't pay him that day. You just owe him. Maybe a month later, you repair his roof. Debt settled. No cash, no coins, just memory. That was the first real form of money. Not an object, not a precious metal, a social obligation, a mental ledger running inside human communities long before banks existed. And once villages became cities, memory stopped being enough. So ancient Mesopotamia started recording debts onto clay tablets nearly 5,000 years ago. That's the part most people never hear. Writing was not invented for poetry. It was invented for accounting. The need to track debt may have been one of the forces that helped create civilization itself. Then came the moment money stopped being a social agreement and became a political weapon. Around 600 BC, in a kingdom called Lydia, rulers started stamping pieces of gold and silver with an official seal. That little symbol changed history, because now, value no longer came from the metal alone. It came from trust in whoever ruled the system. And once power realized people trusted the stamp more than the substance, the game changed forever. Rome perfected it. The early Roman silver coins were solid, reliable, honest money. But empires are expensive. Wars cost money. Politicians always want more than they can afford. So Roman emperors found a solution that felt almost magical. They melted the coins down, mixed cheaper metals into the silver, then stamped the emperor's face right back onto them. Same coin, less value. Rome discovered a trick governments still use today. Create more money, without people immediately realizing they're becoming poorer. Then, humanity discovered something even more dangerous than diluted silver coins. Paper. In China, merchants got tired of hauling around heavy metal coins, so they started trading paper receipts instead. Lighter, faster, easier. And for a while, it worked brilliantly. Then Kublai Khan took control and realized something governments throughout history eventually realize. If people accept paper as money, you can print more of it. That temptation rarely ends well. Centuries later, Germany showed the world just how ugly inflation can become. After World War I, the government started printing money at extreme speed to survive its debts. At first, nothing looked wrong. Then prices started moving almost by the hour. A loaf of bread that once cost a few marks suddenly cost billions. Families carried cash in wheelbarrows. People burned banknotes for heat because firewood became more valuable than the money itself. That's the real horror of inflation. The world around you still looks normal, while the value of your savings quietly evaporates. For centuries, governments tried to convince people there was a solution to monetary chaos: gold. Paper money was supposed to be restrained by something real. Every dollar, every pound, every note was theoretically tied to a fixed amount of gold, sitting inside a vault somewhere. The message was simple: relax. The money is backed by something solid, until governments needed more of it. World War I exposed the weakness almost immediately. Countries started printing far beyond their gold reserves, because wars cost more than honesty can afford. One by one, governments quietly suspended the gold standard the moment it became inconvenient. Then came Bretton Woods. After World War II, the US dollar became the center of the global system, supposedly backed by gold at $35 an ounce. But by 1971, America had printed far more dollars than it could actually redeem. So President Nixon went on television and cut the final link. In that moment, money was no longer backed by anything physical, not gold, not silver, not anything you could hold in your hands, only confidence, and confidence is a fragile thing. Then came 2008, the moment millions of people realized the financial system was not built equally for everyone inside it. Banks had spent years handing out risky home loans like candy at a parade. They bundled the debt together, stamped it safe, and sold it across the global economy like it was premium-grade financial engineering. Then, the housing market cracked, and suddenly, the whole machine started shaking apart. People lost homes, lost jobs, lost retirement savings. Entire lives got erased in months. But here's the part that changed how many people saw money forever. The banks that helped cause the disaster didn't collapse with everyone else. They got rescued. Governments and central banks created trillions of dollars out of thin air to stabilize the financial system. Regular people got foreclosure notices. Wall Street got bailouts. And millions of Americans started asking a question that deeply damaged trust in financial institutions. If money can be created instantly during a crisis, why does ordinary hardship always seem unavoidable the rest of the time? While the world was still burning from 2008, someone hiding behind the name Satoshi Nakamoto dropped a 9-page document onto the internet. No interviews, no face, no company, just an idea. What if money existed without governments, without central banks, without anyone being able to print more whenever they got into trouble? That idea became Bitcoin. For the first time in modern history, the supply was locked. 21 million. No emergency printing press. No politicians quietly diluting the currency while calling it economic stimulus. To many people, Bitcoin looked like an escape hatch from the same cycle that damaged Rome, shattered Germany, and destabilized the global economy in 2008. But power rarely gives up control of money willingly. So now, the world appears to be splitting into two directions. One version is decentralized money nobody fully controls. The other is programmable state money, where transactions can potentially be tracked, monitored, approved, or restricted. That's the debate surrounding central bank digital currencies. Supporters argue digital currencies could reduce fraud and make payments more efficient. Critics worry the same systems could dramatically expand financial surveillance. And the unsettling part is, both futures are already being built at the same time. For 10,000 years, money has never just been about buying things. It helps decide who holds power and who answers to it. Empires understood that. Kings understood that. Banks understood that. Most ordinary people rarely stop long enough to think about it. Because the system works best when money feels invisible. Just numbers on a screen, a paycheck, a card swipe, a mortgage payment disappearing every month, like clockwork. But underneath all of it, money is infrastructure. And whoever shapes that infrastructure shapes behavior, incentives, and power itself. The unsettling part is not that the system is changing. It's that the next version is already being built, while most people are too distracted to notice it happening. A future where money is decentralized and outside political control. Or a future where every transaction becomes permission-based. One expands individual autonomy. The other could dramatically increase institutional oversight. And history suggests something uncomfortable. Power rarely abandons tools that increase control. The question is not what money is anymore. The question is who controls it. The strange thing about money is that most people spend their entire lives chasing it without ever asking what it actually is. Not really. History shows the pattern with brutal consistency. Every system begins with trust. Every system expands beyond restraint. And eventually, somebody gains the power to rewrite the rules for everyone else. Different empires, different currencies, same human behavior. And now, for the first time in history, the next version of money may not just store value, it may shape behavior itself. That decision is being made right now, quietly, inside governments, central banks, technology companies, and institutions most people will never see until they are already affected by them. Because the next financial system won't ask for your permission. If you want to understand the systems shaping your future before they arrive, subscribe.